And welcome everybody to the Daily Space Weather. We've got some spectacular imagery of the closest star. Thanks for tuning in and stargazing. Here at the Smash News Network, least busted name in news. Here's ionized helium from the SDO. We've got some incredible close-ups here in composite wavelengths with slow-mo included. We've got an uptick in solar activity, an uptick in earthquake activity, and more. Also, 2 more videos to follow this one. Here's the composite imagery we're talking about. It's 304 plus 131 angstroms. So we've added 131 angstroms here to add some additional definition. There's also a coronal mass ejection going on. Make sure you watch our future videos for that. We've been putting out 3 space weather videos a day. And before we look at those close-up slow-mos, let's look at the colorized magnetogram. All 3 named sunspot groups besides, well, there are 5 named sunspot groups: 2954, 2955, 2956, 2957, and 2958. All the beta class groups have grown, so these 2 major groups here, these 2 really large umbrae, they have been mostly stable over the past 24. The rest have largely grown. Let's take a close-up. Here's 2954 and 2955 in slow-mo. We've reduced the speed by 1/3 there. That's 20 frames per second. Let's move over to 2956. Also, the likelihood of solar flares has gone up significantly. We'll let that play a second time before moving on to 2957. There's sunspot 2957. And 3 of the 5 groups are significantly more likely to produce large solar flares. Here's 2958. I think it's the most interesting of all. Huge filament up here as well. Also, there is a coronal mass ejection propagating as we make the video. We'll feature that in a future segment. Radio flux has come up to 99 solar flux units. So there's the radio flux in context. That's the 1-year graph of the radio flux. It's this black line. The most proportional data set to sunspot number. And here's a space weather enthusiast dashboard not forecasting any geomagnetic unrest or storm conditions. We are seeing a slightly heightened solar wind speed here from a coronal hole high-speed stream. Let's take a look at the 7 magnitude earthquake drought, which continues. Shout out to the guy on Facebook who commented without watching the video. I have nothing more to say, except that's pretty shallow. Anyway, you can see this 7 magnitude earthquake drought right here on this 90-day graph. And we've seen an uptick since yesterday. Quite a few earthquakes there north of New Zealand. Nothing over a 6 magnitude, though. So we're just going to scroll up the list here. Also a rare earthquake in Colorado. It was only like a 3 magnitude. And if we miss anything, please leave a comment as we consider the videos to be an interactive, collaborative effort. So some 5 magnitude quakes there in the lower 5 range. Some Hawaiian earthquakes. But the main site of seismicity is around Oceania there, both east and north of Australia. I think this is the largest of the past 24 here, a 5.8. Adjacent to the Kermadec Trench, south of Tonga, north of New Zealand. That occurred at 6:22 Universal Time this morning. And let's continue on to look at volcanoes. Subanose-jima. Not sure if it's erupting. No volcanic ash showing up in the satellite imagery. Don't assume it's not erupting and decide to build a campsite at the lower slopes. Semeru on East Java, Indonesia. Flight level 140 from Semeru. Santiaguito is extruding some lava. It's like lava Play-Doh happening there in Guatemala. Also, a partial collapse of the dome resulted in glowing block lava, traveling mostly down the west-southwest slopes, rather. Don't rule out pyroclastic flows and decide to square dance the caldera. Fuego exploding mildly. Sporadic emissions there from Fuego in Guatemala. Talica, flight level 040. It's producing a 4,000-foot ash plume as it explodes and fertilizes Nicaragua. Sangay exploding, flight level 200. It's a 20,000-foot ash plume from Sangay. Revenador, also in the nation of Ecuador, producing a 15,000-foot ash plume as it explodes Sabancaya. Intermittent emissions of volcanic ash coming out of the Peruvian Sabancaya volcano. And Nevados de Chilean exploding, flight level 120. We implore you to please do not pole vault the caldera. And welcome to space. Congratulations on realizing the channel exists. We've pared down the number of designs on the Red Bubble shop. We've removed a dozen of them. You're seeing them here in order of worst to best selling. The best selling at the top. Please don't pole vault the caldera. Please do support the channel. If you decide to pick up some Redbubble merch, don't forget to enter the promo code 20flash20 throughout the day today to save 20%. Sale ends today. Also, welcome to the Neo Renaissance, folks. Congratulations on realizing the channel exists. Smashamash.com contains all kinds of links. And if you prefer to see the content remain publicly visible, consider becoming a member of the Smash Team at smashamash.com/smashteam. We put up some posts here which are publicly visible for all to view without even logging in about the sun and about elimination diets. Often our posts are only visible to gold and silver members. Anyway, thanks for tuning into the content. Congratulations on realizing the channel exists. And may that solar wind be at your back.